I saw a video the other day by Distort the Preamp on 80s arpeggios and the way he used them and analyzed them, and namely with the Duran Duran kind of influence back in the 80s, and it inspired me. As a matter of fact, this is a bit of a reaction to how I think it is going to work in electronic music, because there was something that I saw him do that I thought like, well, that's probably not going to work for us electronic music cats, right? So today, this is going to be the ultimate Melodic House Arpeggio guide. Are you ready for it? Let's go and do it right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Melodic Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Stick around, I also have some news on our community, which you can find on patreon.com/AnalogKitchen. Stay tuned for that. So, on topic, what is an arpeggio? An arpeggio is a musical term referred to as a chord where the notes are being played one at a time. You've got ascending arpeggios going up and descending arpeggios going down, and alternate arpeggios going up and down. There are so many different ways to look at what arpeggios do, but when I look at melodic house, it's a very strong thing to use. I always use arpeggios. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know how to program them or how to look at them or what makes a good arpeggio. Now here's why arpeggios are such a powerful asset to use in your music. Think about rhythmic drive and movement. Arpeggios are building anticipation and excitement in your music. An arpeggio also creates space in a dense arrangement. They occupy a different space. When you play lower and higher notes, it becomes more interesting to listen to what is happening in the music. And of course, arpeggios can be played on different synthesizers with different EQ settings, so a lot of stuff becomes very interesting. Their ability to add rhythmical drive, harmonic interest, and textural variation makes them a staple in many musical genres. So overall, arpeggios are a versatile tool for electronic music producers. Now, what makes melodic house different from techno or trance or just melodic techno? House music is more about the drive, sometimes about the vocal, about having that gospel-y background. Techno music is more about the technology, about how to really work with LFOs and program synth sounds that don't necessarily need to be musical in their nature. And melodic house is a blend of all these things. I'd like to add that the different tempos also have a big say in how an arpeggio works. I mean, the faster a track is, the faster the notes are going to follow up on one another, which means that you might not always hear the musical variation that's going on. So the slower the pace, with house music it's pretty much around 120 to 124. With techno it's about 124 to 132. If it's moderate techno it can go up to 140, but with trance it can go up from 140 to 155 and onwards. So different genres have their own different bases on which they work, but that means that arpeggios are also going to do a different thing. Now, I will go in at 130 BPM as I think that is the pace for me. Try out different tempos yourself and see what works for you. Right, party people, we are in the house. Okay, cool. A firm favorite is back on the table, and that is the Akai MPC1. Well, MPC Live MPC1, because for sake of my tutorial today, I would like to get into something that can explain it pretty simple. Now, there is, I'm going to turn this snare off, and you know, just let it run silent for a bit. Okay, now I've got something here. What is the cool thing with the MPC1? They've got an arpeggiator, or at least they've got a few things in here that can do the work for you. Now, as I said, the video that I saw was absolutely awesome, but just to hold one note and play the other notes is cool for live, but if you want to make electronic music, or you want to make like melodic house, the last thing you would want is stand there and just play stuff. So especially if you can just record stuff in or trigger stuff from a different direction, which is what we're going to do today. Now, on the main page within the MPC, you've got like 3 different tracks. One is a sequence track, which is where you are. Like on menu, you've got like next sequence mode, which is why you set up your different sequences to create one song, or in my case, get different sequences to just do one complete track. So this one would be a track, or a part of a track, a pattern if you will, and I will build up my track using only 4 sequences or 4 patterns. That's how I do it with the MPC. So that's where that is for, and that you can find on the main page here. So pretty much using plus and minus here is going to jump between the sequences, which is essentially doing the same here by hitting this, and it's blinking. So the next one would be sequence 2, or hitting it here. So that's 3 ways of getting to that point, which is the MPC for you. Yes, there's multiple ways of getting to a certain thing. That's the first row in the main page. The second page is the track page. Now I've not done anything. Let's rename this sub 37 37. Saving the data. So we've got that going on right here. And the last page is the MIDI page, on where you decide what program you're going to use. It's going to send out a program change here, and you can just like tell the synthesizer you're using which preset to play, and if you want to jump to another sequence, you can then jump to another preset, if you will. Now, I've got my thingy going on right here. Now, the trick to do the way I do it is, obviously there is an ARP function here. Then you can just play and latch notes and do different things, and you've got like an ARP. You've got note repeat. You've got rhythm, which makes sense if you hear the kick drum. Nice, you know, and then you've got the pattern. So pretty much, if you're not a skilled musician that can play notes, or if you're a musician that doesn't play notes, let me put it that way. It's not to say if you don't play notes you're not skilled, but you know what I'm saying, then you can have that run it for you. You click it and then you can see the whole overview of the things that we were. But I'm not so much going into the ARP mode here. What I do though is, on that last page you've got pad perform. Now let's get out of here. Pad perform means you can now choose to set up the channel to do different things, a variety of different things. In this case, you can play chords, which does not make any sense, because obviously this synthesizer is not a polyphonic synth, it's a paraphonic synth, meaning 2 oscillators can play a bass and a lead, if you will, but that's the gist of it. The 2 oscillators and that's it. Where or polyphonic synthesizers can play chords, meaning if you hit 3 notes, you hear 3. If you hit 3 keys, you'll hear 3 notes, and that's not the case with this. But the arpeggio obviously is also playing chords, but then one note after the other, instead of playing all the notes at the same time, and that's where the magic lies. Now, if you put it in chord mode, it means that it's already got the chord in its memory, and then if you were to play it, and now I didn't engage the note repeat function, it really doesn't do anything. So I've got an A minor chord here that you don't hear. It's playing 3 notes, but you're only hearing 2 in this case. But I'm going to go to shift and note repeat. Getting out of shift and note repeat now, all of a sudden another menu arises on the bottom of the window saying 1 divided by 8, 1 divided by 16, and that means that the notes that you can play, let's put it on notes, then you hear. It's nice, you know? When you see red notes on the MPC, it means that that means that this is an octave, right? So you know, like, and if I hit multiple notes, now all of a sudden they start alternating, as an arpeggio does. Can that be done faster? Yes, because that's what the divisions are for. You can go pretty fast, dramatic, or you can go a little bit slower. But what makes the most sense is either the 1 divided by 16th, let's go a little bit lower. Understand what's happening here? Nice, right? Okay, so that's how you would set up an arpeggio. But now it's alternating between 2 notes, so it's going to do that boo da doo da doo da. So every other note is going to be that same root note. What if you were going to use triads? Which is what most people do. They want to make a melodic house arpeggio. Triads meaning you're using 3 notes. Now listen to this. We've got this note, and this note that makes up this chord. Just your basic triad, and now you get nice, right? Okay, and what I like is I just hold it like this, and then I start playing with the filter. Lengths, of course. And this is already cool because something is giving you a sense of speed, a sense of, yeah, picking up the pace. And the shorter the notes are, the more you can get it sitting in the groove, right? Now with just the bass drum, there's nothing there, but what if I was to add in a little bit of a percussion element? Now you're going to see that it starts to make sense to look at note lengths of your arpeggio. If you wonder where the delay is coming from, I've got the DD7 engaged. It's sitting over on the far side there. That's this. Can we do a little bit of reverb? Yes, we can. Spring, reverb. Nice. Whew. See, and instantly you get that hypnotic feeling. And if this is for me, I'd love to do this triad thing, because then you get a polymeter here. Bam. It starts again. Obviously, if I was to put this on 12 bars, then I think it will be going on forever. You wouldn't hear it restart. Like, let's try it out. 2, 3, 4. You hear? It doesn't start. And maybe I'm not making sense, but let's put it on a 4. Let's do that again. 1. Okay, let's start it again because of I screwed up. Bam. So then, let's see what happens here. 1, 2. See, it starts. 2, 3, 4, and it starts again. Bap, bap. And that's not what you want. I would love for my arpeggio to keep going if I want to hypnotize you, right? So I'll stick it on a 12, because obviously a triad in a 4 beat, that's 3 times 4, which makes it 12, so you will not hear this thing start. So if I start like here, you'll never hear it start. And now it becomes very trancy, right? Nice one. Cool. Now let's see if we can put some more stuff in there. What else we got? Stir it up a little bit. This is the trick that I always use. This is what I mean. Now, if you're paying attention, the drums and the music are starting to work together. Okay, what's happening? Let's record this arp in. So I'm pretty much going to go and say over the up. So now it's recording it. You can see where we are. See if we can find some notes. Say it again. Okay, did I screw it up? Yes, I did completely. So I'm gonna go in and say, no, that's not what I want. Take out all those notes. Shift, cut, that's how I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice, okay. Obviously engaged. That's also, that's the chord, obviously, right? Gonna go back in. Shift, cut. Gonna go shift, note, repeat. Now I'm on that thing again. So you'll hear my arp playing here, coming from the black box. And what you're hearing is that one is on a different time measure. Half the tempo of the one I'm playing right now, which starts here. See, this thing keeps evolving. So I'm taking it out of reg mode. Let's take this one out. Now, let's mute what we have, right? There's an arp playing here. And what I like about this arp is that it does something different. So you got different arp patterns, if you will, right? This plays bum bum bum. So it's got two different notes within its thingy, right? So I think this is more of an accompanying sequence. The other one that I have is this. So this one starts all the time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and sorry, 2, variation starts, bam. So I've got 3 different arps going, right? Now the first thing I would look for is a bass line to get my track up and running. So I'm going to take this out, play my bass line here. Let's go straight. We're going to go straight in. Everything bum 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 bum. So having a 16th bass line means all the notes I'm going to hit with my arpeggio are going to also be played, right? Listen to this. I'm going to play that arp that I just played, and you'll hear that all the notes are on the same time. And my call and response is now coming from the drums that are playing, because they also play 16th notes, but their accent is so a cadence starts so that the track does something different. Again, I'm going to leave the bass line playing, a different arp, the bottom one. When this plays, it's giving an accent to the bass line. The bass line will give that bam, 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 bam. So the back beat of the bass line is now getting accentuated because of the, I think it's a paradiddle that this line is playing. So different accents do also work. Now how does this relate to the arp that we've got sitting right here? But the character of this sound, obviously, is so rich. I can still hear my bass line, but you have to worry a little bit about how to get all these things to fit together. So you got 4 different things, as a matter of fact, right? I'm going to introduce a little bit of resonance. That means low end is going to get taken out of this sound. Nice. Let's turn it down a little bit. This is what I can probably do here. But now starts to scream. Nice. Dip, dip, dip. Okay. Arp. And the rule of thumb for me is if you want to get stuff out of the way, pan it away, you know? Because now they're going to sit in the middle. I mean, I'm not screwing it up right now because they're all residing in their own specific frequency ranges, so you can also hear, I can hear the bass line. Clearly, if I turn it off, you'll miss it. Same goes for this one here. Right, the same goes for this one here. See? So this one, that's my sub 37. One arp coming from the black box. And the bass line. Now stick the 4th one in. But very important is to find a hierarchy on what needs to do what, right? So let's focus on our sub 37 first. I only have this bass line here as a as a driver. It drives the beat forward, right? There's more beats. Okay, here we go. Nice one. Nice one. Yep, liking that. And the character of this sound is in such a way that when you open it up, it does different things. You can hear that it's more low-end content here. When you open it up, it starts to scream a little bit. What do I mean by scream? Let's take out the drums, for instance. I'll take everything out. Bass. I'm going to take out a little bit of that reverb because it makes it a little muddy, and take out the delay as well. Make this note shorter so you can clearly hear it. So at 80 hertz, which is a ¼ on the dial here on my filter, you'll hear round, even, spaced out notes. Then from the minute I start to open it up again, you hear noise getting introduced, an overdrive, and a bit of flanging almost, which is not what it is, but there's a crossover point in where the oscillators are kissing each other almost, I would say. But this is obviously cool. This kind of vibe on a dance floor at 4 in the morning does the trick. Little longer notes, I'd say. Now, what if I was to change my arpeggio into not a polymetric kind of vibe, right? I will take them out, take all the notes out, and put that bass line back in. So I'm gonna go in as a shift, like so. Shift cut, no. So notes are gone. Cool, I'm gonna go in again to shift notes, and now I'm going to Let's make it a little bit slower. If I'm going to turn that arp thing off, I'm going to turn it off first. Now, what you also see is that some people play. So half tempo, right? To Anto, for instance, out of the Hungry Music Camp, he plays slow arps. If I was to speed this up, then also you get so there's different things that you can do. Obviously, I will tell my MPC to go like, okay, this one was woo. Now I will place this thing back on 16 or 8. Put it on 8, and then I'll do this. Nice, yeah. It's also giving an accent on the second of the bar. And with my bass line, 2, 3, again. Cool, I've recorded this. Take it out of record mode. And I like to play certain things because the thing with the filter, hey, I see a note that's not supposed to play here. Let's take that out. My eraser, it's gone. Now, you can place an arpeggio on top of a bass line that you already have. Taking the bass line out, you hear? And I deliberately played that low note an octave lower because then, if you lower the filter, you don't hear it as much. Listen to this. One, one, one. Try to follow that note. Try to follow the 1, the 2, every other beat. And I'm liking that. So now you got 2 patterns playing as one. Well, there's not 2 patterns, but you don't hear that low note. And then with your groove, you get this. And that works together with this arp. So you get an extra boom, ba, boom, ba, that old school rock and roll. So again, another arp that works, right? Let's alter the arps on the black box. 1, 2, 3, like. Hear this one on the bottom. But if this one plays, I will lengthen the notes on the sub, like so. Have this be a catalyst in the music. Well, from the minute I start to introduce that other arp, that higher one, I will shorten notes. Because you don't want to have 2 things do similar stuff. Now this is a little bit of a CIA kind of vibe, right? You need to really figure out where sits what. So how do I determine what is going to work for me then? Now, a rule of thumb for me, let's take this out. Right. Okay. What I will do usually is I will really figure out what does what. Let's take out this bass line, take out the kick, snare, and just let's just listen to this. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. It's going to be way too loud, but then you know what it is. And then I'll try to figure out how does this filter relate to the music that I already have. This is basically a bonus lesson on how to fit a synthesizer on top of the beat. So what I first do, my strong point is my groove. I like grooves. This is something that I can do easily. I'm not saying that I'm the king at it, but if I'm making music, that's the thing that I can finish the quickest. So I know that that's something that really relates to me and my way of working. So obviously, to fit a sound in, I'm going to shorten the notes. And see how that fits in the beat. So I like something in my beat that is kind of percussive and soft, and then I'll start to work my way up from the up. And if it doesn't fit in, try and work the attack, because sometimes it's the attack that gives away that a sound might to be too sparse or too staccato or whatever, you know. So stick that in. Bass line. Now the trick is to have those two work together in such a way. So I'm trying to find a crossover point. Because the notes are so short, it's only going to amount to a certain pointy transient of the frequency spectrum, and then I'll never fit it into the groove. So since this is a more sustained bass line here, I will go in and sustain my note here as well, like so. Taking a little bit of the multi-drive, it's a little bit too crossy for me. Kick in, so now I can hear what's happening, what's going on. Turn it down a little bit again. Yeah. So now I've got a double dual layer, and this arp now acts as a bass line almost, right? Boom, boo, doo, doo, boo, 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 doo, doo, boo. Infinite loop. This can go on forever and ever and ever. You'll still be going for it, right? Cool. Okay. Kick out, snare in. Yeah, nice. Stopping this. There are so many different arps that you can. So the more notes you hold, the more it's going to play the notes that you. A little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb. Now, instead of using the sequence, I will now use my own arp idea of playing consecutive notes. Now, obviously, I know that the red notes are the octave, so I can really go into that 80s kind of vibe. Take out that bass line, you go. See? So there's so many different things that I can do. Going into an 80s kind of vibe. The 80s were more of a... You know? Modern day arps, especially for melodic house and melodic techno, are pretty much about... You know, more spaced out, and then obviously you can double up the arp, and which is something that I'm not super good at playing fast. Okay, let's try that. Challenge! Something like that. With a little bit of practice, I think I could do it, but obviously, why do it if I can have this do that for me? Now, why would I try to maybe program a different arp than what's here? As you can see, it's very predictable what the MPC arpeggiator is going to do for you. So it's going to be... Now what you can do and what you should do, I think, in order to create a bit of variety is try out different measurements. This one is a 3. Now I'll go for 4. Go back to that. A 5. 3. And this can work also if you just half the tempo. But where I was using 3 and 4, I'm now using 2s and 3s. Because the 4 will make it a very long pattern. And what I do sometimes is I'll have the notes repeat, because sometimes I would like to land on a note repeat. So I'll play an arpeggio myself. Da-ba-da-ba. Even faster. Shoulder. And then your release is your best friend, because obviously opening up the release, you can still play pads. It's just vibrato then, but shorter. So that's another trick that you can do. Do I use the 1/64? No, not much, because not that I was trying to make horror music, but I don't make horror music, so. But if you want to make this work, don't hold the notes too long, because obviously you want to release the note before it starts repeating by itself. And there's also something else that I can introduce, and that is I can put a little bit of groove on there, because there's no groove, but now it does. But if I was to make it a little bit more minimal tech, as you can hear. Let's take out this note, these drums, because what will happen is they're gonna give away something else, because I can do triplets also. Now it becomes interesting, because now you get, let's take this out, bam, I'll go for 8. Right? Something like this, or even shorter. Well, you catch my drift, right? Let me know in the comment section how you work it. Thanks. This is just me noodling about ARPs. Try them out, and you know, obviously if you can learn a little bit about chords, it will help you, you know. Try suspended chords, which means like every, if I was to play, say I'm playing a C major chord here, then instead the third note, if you lower it by a whole step, that's a suspended 2, and then instead of this, that'll be a suspended 4, a sus4 chord, and that also helps if you wanna sus2, sus4, minor. You hear the drama? So there's so many different things that you can do, but that's a different video. Our community is always growing, and you'll find it on patreon.com/analogkitchen. Not only that, the kind folks over at Patreon have made a bridge into Discord. So Discord is a platform where mainly gamers congregate. You know, they can play their games and have their fans watch them play the games, but it will also apply to us musicians, as we get the video chat, as we get to share our music, and we get to just like build our community, which is really cool. So after this video, there is going to be a video chat conference. We'll all talk about arpeggios, or the way we produce, or the way our demos is, or how we perform. And you know, when we started out, it wasn't really that great. We started out in COVID a little bit, and then of course a lot of people were just like housebound, and we spoke about our sins, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be great to really see if we can do some stuff, and if we can go out and meet each other. And that has happened. The community has been growing for over 4 or 5 years now. There's so many patrons that I've seen, there's patrons that I've booked to perform at my kitchen club events. Everybody's got their different setups, and we talk about it. There's such a vibrant community on this little space on the web. So you can find that by going to patreon.com/analogkitchen, and then you will find your way automatically into the Discord, and we will welcome you with open arms. With that said, thank you for watching. This concludes our broadcast. And if you made it this far into the video, you, sir or ma'am, are an absolute superstar. I'll catch you next week on another video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week. Peace.